Hey guys, welcome back. I'm in the basement. I want to work on the monitor for the Tempest. So I have a cap kit. I haven't taken the chassis off yet, but I have a cap kit here for the 6100, and then I have this guy here. This is the LV 6100 low voltage upgrade PCB kit. Okay, they didn't have any already assembled ones, so I had to buy the one that was unassembled, and I have to put it together. So I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to grab the chassis out, and I'm going to recap it. Now, the monitor's been off for a couple weeks. I don't have the proper discharging tool for a vector monitor. So it being off for a couple weeks, there should be no charge left on it. So I'm not too worried about it, but I know that it uses a special tool to really discharge those correctly. So you don't want to just go shoving a screwdriver in there and grounding it out, I don't think. You probably could do it, but it's probably not recommended to. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of just let it sit for a few weeks. Let it drain down, and then should be good to go there. So let's put this together first. Hopefully this paperwork in here tells me what I'm supposed to be doing, because I don't know. I never did one before. Never put one together before, but I don't imagine it would be too hard. So let me zoom in here and we'll look at it. I literally have a pile of chassis on the floor here. Look at this. There's probably 20 of them on the floor I have to go through still. I got a bunch of them free, and other ones I paid like 10 bucks a piece for. They're missing parts and stuff. A lot of them are K7000s, but I'm slowly going through them. I've gotten a few working so far. Trying to get this set. There we go. That doesn't look too bad right there. So now you guys can see what I'm doing, hopefully. I don't know if I should zoom in anymore. I don't want to make the picture too small. I'm going to leave it there. So let's open this up and see. It's a little bit cheaper to buy it not together, but to be honest with you, if you can get it together, you're probably just better off. It's kind of a waste of time to do this, but they didn't have any, so I didn't have a choice. So there's all my parts. So basically, on the PCB, this section right here that's outlined in the red lines, we got to remove all the components in this section right here, okay? So once you remove all the components, it'll look like this. It'll be empty. And then the new board will take its place, which you got to figure out how that goes. I don't know how that goes yet. But anyways, looking here at the paperwork to see what it says to do. Like I said, this is a first time thing here. Okay, so we have the unassembled PCB. Looks like some of it's labeled on here. This is a 7924, 7824. So we have this is the 7924, is going to go right here. This is my 7824. Yep, that goes right there. Now, on the PCB, it is marked which way that transistor goes by the directions of the drawing. The rounded edges are the front side of the transistor. All right, and then we have two here that say 47K. I don't know if it's these little guys. Yeah, like I can read that. Let me see here. I don't think it's those. Maybe, might be. I can't read that. Even through a magnifying glass, I can't read that. What are these guys? LD 1001. I wonder if that's the light bulb. LD 1001, two of them. I believe these are them. We have 4 diodes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. D1001. 4 of them. This instructions kind of suck. I mean, the fuck? I don't know. I really don't know. It's very shitty instructions, in my opinion. You think that they would like be a little bit better? Don't cut the 3 leads marked with the 3 yellow arrows. Okay. These 3 positions also have a white square silk screened on the PCB, so they stay full length so you don't cut them. Okay. What's stupid? Why wouldn't you give a picture of it fully assembled? I mean, doesn't that kind of make sense? Let's send you a picture of it fully assembled so you know what it looks like, maybe. That might help you be a little bit easier on doing it. But apparently, that's too easy. I guess we'll start with the transistors. The 7924. Get those put on. Okay, those look good. Of course, my cutters are not in here. Do I have another set around this disastrous mess? I got these, might work. Okay, we've got those installed. Yay. Like, it tells you those got to be the light bulbs. But it just tells you LD 1001. Okay, so you go to the sheet right here, and it says 2 LD 1001s. Well, what is the LD 1001? It's not labeled. I'm just guessing because it's the only thing that we only have 2 of. But when we get to these, what do I know? You know, I have those clamp things that you use to hold stuff, and I don't know where I put them. I don't know where they're at. I'll just bend the legs over. That'll hold it straight enough. Okay. I'm going to say these are my diodes, just for the simple fact that it's a square and it has a white line, and you match your white line up with your gray line on your diode. Now, I have to read here because it does tell me which leads to leave long. And I'm guessing that's so that you can solder it to the board. Okay, so our gray goes this way. So the lead in the square box needs to stay long. Okay, so that side needs to stay long. The other side we can cut short. So make sure your gray stripe on your diode is going to the white stripe on your board. And the square, the lead that goes through the square hole, you have to leave it long. So I'm bending over the ones that I need to cut. The ones that need to stay long, I'm going to leave them straight so I know that. Trying to get these on here so they look halfway decent. Not everything's crooked and shit. Okay, so now we have one more lead right there that needs to stay long. And then the fourth one, you can cut both of them. So this one right here. Okay, those are my 3 that'll stay straight, or stay long rather. soldering tip on that is shot. My other soldering gun broke, the new one that I got from Harbor Freight, which is surprising. I usually have really good luck with Harbor Freight stuff, but that one just quit heating up. The thing worked great too. To buy another one, see if I have the same luck or not. Maybe I'll get the extended warranty. Okay, I'll leave my 3 leads long. So that's done. Now, I guess on these instructions, the D would stand for diode. Maybe that's why it's D1001. I don't know if it's printed on here or not. I don't think so. Okay, so we have that on. Now we have 2 resistors, and then we have 4 of these guys. Now, I don't know where these ceramic things go. I wonder if these go on the bottom of the legs here, and it separates the board from the board. That's my guess. They go on those 3 legs. Then we got 2 wires here, which I think is positive and negative. So now we have 2 resistors we need to put in. And I'm going to say that they go up top here because these say 47K. All right. So let's see here. That would be R. Yeah, starts with an R, which is resistor, 1136. But they should, honestly, on this right here, next to R1136, I guess you should know that R stands for resistor. But they should probably tell you like the size of it and stuff. But it's printed on the board. It does say 47K. And a resistor doesn't matter which direction it goes in. I put them both the same way. So if I put the, I'm going to put the last line, well, is like a maroon color. We'll put that on the positive side. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did it right. Could you imagine doing this for the first time if you didn't know anything about it? You'd be really kind of lost. All right, so now we have our last 4 little capacitors, and they go in here. Now, they have the negative side marked on them all. But I don't know that these have a negative and a positive. They don't. Not that I'm aware of. Both legs are the same length. small stuff. Okay. All right, we have that all put together. Let's slide our 3 ceramic thingies on here, and we'll bend it over for now so they don't fall off. Okay. Now at the top here, we have use yellow wire for the negative and yellow for the positive. Okay, so these two 47K resistors at the top here, it says a note here. These two resistors can be any value between 27K ohms and 47K ohms, half watt, just so you know. All right, so there you have it. We have our little board all together. Now I'm going to go get the PCB out of the cabinet, or the I guess you call it a PCB chassis, and get going on that. All right, let's start with this board. I have to pull the monitor out to get the other board out. I can't get to a screw. I was hoping I can get it out. Now, when you unplug these boards, okay, because you got plugs everywhere on this board, there is a key, or like a block off pin, and each plug is in a different spot, except for this one, I think. But actually, a couple of them. But yeah, you just got to kind of keep a lookout for that. So now we need to remove the components right here, which are these two capacitors, all these resistors right here, which these are burned up pretty bad. We got a diode here. We got this guy's got to come out, and those two. So we're going to remove all that stuff. Oops. That was pretty burned. I can't believe it was actually working. My gun needs cleaned again. Okay, that should be everything. All right, that's all out. Now, our 3 leads go in E, B, and then I think it's DZ 101. Double check. No, it doesn't go in B. It goes in E on each side. Okay. And then we have our negative lead, which goes to R101, top hole. And then we have our positive lead, which goes to, can't read that in the picture, R100, goes to the top hole. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go around and I am going to reflow all my connectors, the pins for the connectors. Add more solder. I think when you actually technically reflow, I think you're supposed to remove the old solder and put new. Okay. Actually, that pin right there had a broken solder joint. Okay, got one here. I think that's the last one. This board looks like it has never been worked on. From what I can see. All the pins have cold solder joints on them. They were probably staying connected, but only a matter of time before they weren't. Obviously they were working because the monitor worked. Look for anything else strange on here. Okay, so I think we're done with this board. Double check, make sure we are hooked up correctly. Looks good. So now I'm going to go pull out the next board. Okay, now I can cap this part. They had the monitor in the cabinet wrong. Somebody had the monitor out of the cabinet at one point. So there is a metal bar that on the top and bottom of the monitor chassis or the frame, that you slide it in from the front and it stays there and you put your bolts in. The dumbasses had the upper one right and the bottom one was on the other side of the plywood. It was on the back side of the plywood. I had the hell of a time getting the monitor out of the damn cabinet because it was wedged in there. I don't even know how the hell they got it in there like that. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and cap this now. I'll probably just do this on high speed. No big deal. We got to cap all these. And I think there's a capacitor on the neck board that we'll have to change. Now we're going to have a couple extra capacitors because we're not putting these ones back on because we popped these off. And these are actually swelled up. So probably a good thing that we're changing these capacitors out. So I'm going to do what I normally do. Go through my list here. We're on the high voltage cage. I do not have a cover for it. I got to get one from Jason. He has one for me. And I need to get a spinner. There was no high voltage in the cup, which is what I thought would happen after a couple weeks of it not being on. I got to get a cage from him, and he's going to give me a spinner PCB to try in here, because the one that's in here is clearly not working correctly, because when you turn it at all fast one way, it goes the opposite way on the screen. So clearly that's not right. Okay, I'm going to go grab the next board. Look at this capacitor. How bad that is. All the freaking paint and everything peeling off of it. We have another really swelled up one right here. Look at how swelled up the end of that is. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Can't get it to damn focus. Oh, I had it for a second and then I lost it. Focus. Damn it. No, it's bulging out really bad. So is this one. It's amazing how you can't focus on this shit. All right, I'll be back. All right, I just have one capacitor on the neck board. A lot of extra capacitors. This kit is for a couple different models. Like this input protection circuit, C1, C2. This is only found on P314 deflection PCB, and then the other deflection PCB. This is for P114, P327, P339, P32X. So there's a bunch of extra ones. Now the neck board here, it's C503. It's a 33250 right here. And then that'll finish that up. These are extra. I'll put these in the drawers. Okay. This neck board is really loose on this tube. Not really much I could do about it other than glue it on. I guess I could zip tie it. But all right, well, it's time to put this back together and see what happens. Oh, you know what? Probably should reflow those pins too. All right. Okay, now it's time to put it back together. If you're wondering, these two go to ground on the chassis. These three are labeled on the deflection board. It'll say black, brown, and I don't know if it's, I think it says white, because that's white and blue stripe. All right. Let's hook up our ground wires first. Hi, Jordan. You coming to help? Thanks for licking my ear, Jolene. goes there. Got our decals. Where's that at? That goes there. Okay. A lot more wire connections versus a regular monitor. That goes there. This goes to the power supply. Okay. Okay, so we have our black wire, goes right there, brown, and then white. It actually says white/blue. Okay. Okay, double check. Got that plugged in. That's plugged in. Looks like everything's plugged in. Now the question is my wiring long enough so that I can maybe put it on a bench behind the cabinet? Let me see what I can do here. All right, I'm gonna get it plugged in. If I can reach the plug. Ugh. All right, it's plugged in. Everything hooked up? I think so. I thought I had a interlock switch, but I must not. Wonder if the cabinet switch is off. Okay, good. I was a little nervous there for a second. Kitty, stay away. Please, you don't need to be by this. Okay, my brightness is too high. I think it's still jumping a little bit. Kitty, out of the cabinet. Do not go in there. Go. No. Out. Still got some jitteriness. Not bad. Better, but we still have some. So, is it the two big capacitors that are on the deflection board? The two big caps. It very well could be. Which means I have to order those because I do not have them. Probably should have ordered them, but I didn't. I just get them ordered. I mean, what else can I do, you know? Just looking, I could have sworn that red light came on that deflection board for a split second. It was weird. I could have sworn I saw it. Unless it was just my eye tricking me. Like maybe my eye came around the corner and I saw that red wire and I thought it was the light, but I don't know. I could have sworn it blinked. That still looks too bright to me. But then again, we're not behind tinted glass either. So, better but not perfect. A little better but not perfect. So that's what I'll do next is I'll order those big capacitors and we'll see if that makes a difference. The camera won't pick it up. I cannot get it on the camera. But like the letters, it's just got like a little bit of flashing around each letter. Like movement. And I can't pick it up. But anyways, I'm gonna get those caps ordered. I can actually put this back in the cabinet because I can get that deflection board out without having to mess with anything. Or you know what, maybe I'll just put it on the, I'll unplug it and I'll put the monitor on the floor. I just do not want it to fall off the stool. It's on there secure, but I have cats and I just know my luck a cat will jump on it or something and it'll fall. We also need to work on the spinner still, and we still need to put the coin door together. So I'm gonna wait for the big capacitors to come. We're gonna change those two out. Then we'll work on this and the coin door. Hopefully the two big capacitors, these are those guys right there I'm talking about. Those two right there. Hoping that's going to solve this issue. After that, I don't know. I've got no other ideas of what it would be. At that point, I got to get Jason involved because I don't know. At that point, I'm lost. I think it's a little better though. I'm not positive. So, all right, guys, well, I'm gonna end this video. I don't even know what part it is on this game, where we're at on it. But look at that side art that I touched up. Look at how nice that turned out with that water-based urethane stuff that I put over top. It feels good. I know it's not gonna rub off. I don't have to worry about it. But we're getting there. Monitor still works, so that's a good sign. We just need to get rid of that little bit of shakiness. And it's so minute. If anybody has any ideas of what that could be, please send me a message and let me know. And the screen seems like it's too small. I'm not sure about that. Give me 1 second. Okay, I don't think there's an adjustment on size. Is there? Is it on the PCB? I'm not sure. Let me know about that too, guys, if you know. I think it's right. I think it's okay. I'm not positive though, but All right, guys, I'm going to end this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I think I want to work on the all right, guys, I'm going to end this video. I'm going to get those 2 big caps ordered, and we'll see what's going on. Earlier, I was cleaning up the shop. I put the 2 pinball games cabinets and the 3 heads on my cart. I got a big rolling cart. I put them all on that, and I rolled it into the back building so they're not sitting on the ground or anything like that. I did find some rot on the back of both of those cabinets. So the back panel, we're probably going to have to put a new piece of plywood on both of those pinball cabinets, but not a big deal. So when I was back there, I started counting how many cabinets I have in my back building. I got like 5 or 6 in my spray booth right now that I need to move. And I got 2 in my front garage still. I have a Nintendo dual versus cabinet, the side-by-side big one with the angle. I got one of those up front that's literally just, the cabinet's shot. I'm gonna fix it, but the cabinet is bad. And I have an Exevious up front that fell off a truck and the whole top corner is busted off, and I'm gonna save that too, just to show you guys that you can fix stuff like that. But the Nintendo cabinet, I got that thing for $100, and it had 2 monitors in it. 1 monitor worked, and Super Mario Brothers worked on the one side of the PCB, so it was well worth the money to buy that for $100. I don't know, I'll probably restore it and maybe put it out in my back shop when that's done, but we'll see. So between the front garage, the shop, and the back building, there's 32 games right now that need restored. That is a lot. 3 pinballs, and then the rest are arcade games. 4 of them are going to leave. I have them sold once I get them done. And I have like a original Turtles cabinet. Yeah, it's a Turtles, has 1 speaker in the center. I'm going to put that back to original Turtles, but I think I'm going to put a Raspberry Pi in it, and I'm going to have my buddy do only the Konami 4-player games. So it'll boot right into regular Turtles, but we're going to make it so you can hit a button and be able to play any 4-player game that Konami had. Sunset Riders, Simpsons, Turtles in Time, forgetting what they had here. I think, was Captain America in there? I think so. I'm not positive. What was the 6-player cabinet? Because that came in a 4-player too. X-Man, stuff like that. And I don't think I'm going to keep it. I think I'm going to send it on down the road. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll keep it in the back building. I'm just not sure yet. But we'll see what happens. But I do need to sell some things. But a lot of my projects are really bad, and that's why I have them, so that I can fix the cabinets. And whether I keep them or sell them, at least the cabinets are fixed. So if they move on to somebody else, they'll have a nice cabinet that should last another 30 years, hopefully, unless it gets wet or screwed up somehow. But anyways, I'm going to end this video. I'm going to order those big capacitors. If anybody has any idea why the text shakes a little bit, let me know. I'm hoping it's those 2 big capacitors. I'll get the parts from Jason for the spinner, and I got to get the cover for the high voltage cage, the spinner, and we need to put the coin door together still too. So still some stuff to finish on this. I'm gonna go ahead and set this monitor on the floor. I don't want to leave it on the bench. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think I'll be working on the Space Encounters cabinet. I want to get that taken apart the rest of the way and start doing the woodwork to it so I can get it out of my way, because I need to get one of the games that are going to go to Michigan. I need to get that out of the spray booth so I can start working on that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.